Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. So in case if you can't hear the sound, just be silent and let your body to settle down. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, let's take few minutes to understand how this kind of meditation practice can help for us to develop our day-to-day awareness, and at the same time how it can bring us the spiritual success. So as we all experience, when we look at around the world, day by day we see how the people are behaving. And it doesn't matter even in our personal level and as a community, as a society, and as a nation, and even international level or global level, or even by the time it may can spread to universal level. Why? Because in the future, by the time, people may going to live in another planets. So then this human qualities we going to take with us. So then when it come to that level, what we can see underneath this all, people's that unwholesome actions, the fear, selfish desires, and telling lies, and fighting each other, and quarreling each other. So always the unrest, this unsatisfaction, this everything as a package in us. So then remember, wherever we go, that package going to be with us. So today when it come to as a human being, those are the most of the powerful qualities that we have, especially when it come to that our day-to-day activities, that whatever the lifestyle, the most of time we are holding, grasping, clinging to that kind of unwholesome actions. So then we have to look into that and see deeper from where this come. What is the reason for this? So according to the Buddha's teaching, that is what the basically Buddha mentioned as the origin of the dukkha. So when it comes to the origin of the dukkha, leads us to this all. So the origin of the dukkha come as a result of craving. So the cravingness, this cravingness is the another way, it's kind of like the lust, give the power to move forward. All this sansaric journey, the wheel of samsara, that wheel of conditional phenomena, so the wheel of life move forward as a result of the energy provided by the tanha, or the lust, or the craving. So there is another word that we use for this, we call the desire. But the desire is, we have to be very careful here. The desire, even though desire has a meaning related to cravingness and the lust, but it's deeply that the desire has another meaning, because the desire can have the wholesome desire. Then when you want to do something, that the idea or the will come out of the desire, if it is according to your intention, maybe it can be a good desire. But when it comes to craving or the lust, there is no wholesome craving or wholesome lust. But practice point of view, sometimes we use the word desire also to introduce the craving or the lust. So then remember, when we use the word desire here, means the unwholesome action, the unwholesome intention. And other thing is, when it comes to the lust, that the worldly gratification governs through this lust, and that gratification, we have the idea to find the satisfaction and fulfillment. There is some kind of pleasure. And that's why we are in the world. And even the Buddha mentioned that it is not a kind of like, there is something. But how to understand that something is not everything. There is some kind of happiness. There is some kind of satisfaction. There is some kind of fulfillment in this worldly nature. And that gratification is pull us, hold us with the lust to go behind it again and again and again and again. So this repetition create a kind of like energy in us to become more powerful, to become more kind of like strong. So then remember that when we practice meditation, what we does, we go deeper into recognize our own inner nature. Because this desire, this lust, deeply rooted inside us, there are some kind of craving. It's on the ordinary level, on the surface level in day-to-day life. Just imagine just to drink a cup of tea or coffee, or kind of like something, to do something or go for something. Maybe you have it, you can see it, and then by the time it will go away. But there are some desires, there are some lust, there are some cravingness inside us. It deeply rooted. It silently that govern our life. And on the surface level, we can't see. So that's why practicing meditation give you ability to access to this insight and recognize it. So this gratification, from where this gratification come, how this gratification becomes so powerful inside us. So the one thing is the repetition. And the other thing is the point of view. We think this can bring us happiness. This can bring us satisfaction. This can bring us fulfillment. This can bring us contentment. This can bring us success. So kind of like that, to every direction, we have kind of like a positive idea regarding our own lust, or our own cravingness, or our own unwholesome desire. That's why we repeat that. So first thing that you have to remember, this is not bad. This is a worldly nature. The worldly gratification, the lust, the looking for fulfillment, looking for happiness and satisfaction is not a kind of like a bad thing. But the thing is this, that we have to look, is there any satisfaction that we can gain? Because the cravingness or the lust or the desire, it's opposite of the peace, tranquility state, tranquility mind. So if you look for peace, happiness, and certain the contentment, fulfillment, really, then maybe you look it through the cravingness, and then you don't find it, and that is where the disappointment comes. So see that your intention in a certain level, intention is good because you want the peace, you want the happiness, you want the satisfaction. And that's why you into this. That is where you make actions. Because in the first level, if you know it's not going to bring the satisfaction or the peace or the fulfillment, it's going to bring you all the troubles, disappointment, you may not going to do it. But in the first level, you think, oh, if I do this, I can find the satisfaction. Oh, if I do this, I can be happy. Oh, if I do this, I'm going to be so peaceful. See that? But the thing is, you look through the wrong window. That's the thing. You look through the cravingness. So why that mistake happens? That mistake happens because of lack of awareness, lack of wisdom, and lack of understanding, and lack of experience. Another thing is our habitual pattern so powerful. Our repetition so strong. It's like a current, it's already overtook our life. So now that current governs, and then according to that current we go, but still we have hopes and some kind of intention. So that's why practicing give you a kind of like opportunity for you to transform and change the window. So because that way you are capable to divert your way of doing things, and then you're going to find the happiness. And so far in your life that you have seen, through that all, this worldly gratification not going to bring us that permanent happiness or satisfaction. And at the same time, this inner cravingness direct us to do things tomorrow with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And sometimes our own experience we forget in that situation. So practicing meditation allow you to withdraw from the actions and allow deeper this cravingness to settle down a little bit. And in that level, this habitual mind start to create a window, and through that window, your awareness capable to recognize this pattern. So what we have done in life with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that most of time, if looking through the wrong windows, we are trying kind of like a drinking salty water to quench our thirst, because it never going to end. That's why when it comes to happiness and satisfaction, so people are always interfering to these outside things. So that is where people look for happiness. Food, alcohol, party, and the sex, and the conventional level of the idea of success, wealth, positions, and the power. So craving for, even the craving for love, partnership, craving for these material things, this all we keep doing to gain the happiness. But if you look very carefully where the world go with this all, if there any one end of the day, they find their happiness, or once you reach that, it's going to take you to another level. Once you reach to that, it's going to take you to another. It's becoming an endless journey. That is what called the samsara, endless journey. So when you go with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind to look for this outside, this worldly gratification, you go behind it, what happens? It take you to one point, another place, another place, another situation like that. And then other thing is, you have to always depend on something, and it take you away your power of clarity. You always need to depend on something or somebody. Then you become a prisoner to yourself, and you create walls. So that's why, rather than creating walls through your own happiness, freedom, satisfaction, fulfillment, now you start to find a way to gain the real freedom. So that is what this practice. That's why the introspection is very necessary, because you are the only one can look into that and recognize where that your desires or your lust, your craving rooted. So there is a way that you can uproot it. So there are three kind of cravingness or the desires. So the one is that the sensual desires, another one is this desire for existence or becoming, and another desire called non-existence or non-becoming. But basically, the important part of this all, before we go to other two things, because it's deeply connected to the mind, but basically this one on the surface level, the desire for sensual pleasures. And that is one of the major part that you can practice in day-to-day life. So then once you start to practice with that, basically then you can go into the next level, the desire for this existence. You can reduce and withdraw from desire for becoming. And then by the time it take you more deeper into understand how to withdraw from the desire for non-existence or non-becoming. So then basically we can see our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So then remember yourself. Those are kind of like doors. Those are kind of like windows that always the things available for you. So then at the same time, you have to remember that whatever around you, it all not going to be positive. And there is a negative side also. There is always not the light that you can see. And sometimes there are darkness also. Even when it comes to this worldly nature, universe, if you look very carefully, of course we are depending on the sun and moon. We need the light. We are more nourished from the sunlight. But remember, more than this area of this sunlight that expand, there are more dark places in this universe, which we call the dark matter, the dark hole. And sometimes it's more bigger than this. It can suck this all the planet and the sun and moon and the whole of our planetary system. So it exists there. The same like remember that what we see through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, what we see through things, that we from the first level we see, oh, this beautiful, oh, this nice, this look good. But at the same time, if you are not aware, if you are not mindful that what you see as good may not going to be good as much as you think. So then what will happen? Because the very nature is once something come to in our mind, in our body, just imagine even the food, once we intake, the process going to take it. So with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever we intake, once it come to our life, we become like that. So then what will happen? How you can get it out? And sometimes it's very difficult. And it's going to hold as a memory. There are many things, of course, that if you eat something, within 48 hours, it's going to settle down if you don't die. Food poisoning, and mostly there are medicine. Now you can slowly recover from it. But most dangerous part in the world, remember, the people. Just imagine in case if the wrong person come to you, how are you going to take that person out? So then you have to be very careful with your intention, the desire. That doesn't mean we're going to divide the world, no. But at the same time, we cannot be with everybody around us. Why? Because that sometimes that if there are some kind of negative person come to your life, and then you're going to have a hard time. And look at your own life. You are a matured person. Look at yourself. That most of the time in your life so far, you spend thinking about people, doing things with the people, and going here and there. And then sometimes you just stay away from that all. Just imagine that whole energy that you spend. So forget about the previous lives. The life that you spend so far, going here and there, doing things, there's so much energy. If you put it to a kind of like a capsule, it is so powerful, strong. You cannot believe that you have done that much things. So my point is, just imagine little bit of that power, that energy, that desire, if you put it to watch your breath, maybe it became your turning point to attain to liberation. See, that's why the energy, the strength, intention, desire, we already have. We are not weak people. We already have that energy. But the thing is, we placing it to the wrong place. So then always remember, when there is a desire, now already the system take us to that level. Now we don't know from where it is start, but the system already took us, and that's why it's a kind of like autonomic nervous system. It's a naturally happening to us. Go behind this, that, then doing things and dreaming and reacting. But where you can start? So the very first thing, you have to look into the world and see the drawbacks, defects, disadvantages, danger, downside of the things. That is the beginning point. Start to look. Because this everything in the world, underneath this all, the true nature is impermanent, and it's all bound up to dukkha or unsatisfactory nature. Just imagine, go behind this world, depending on something, there is no permanent satisfaction. Another thing is, this everything, whatever we achieve through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, only these six senses, whatever we achieve, it's all subject to change. So then, remember, when you start to look for something, that when it comes the wow idea, always remember, because we are waiting to do something. There is a current inside us. Go for the next, go for the next. Be replacing. We never go into deeper and recognize this nature. We think, I am okay, the problem is outside, so then replace. But no, that whatever the I impermanent, I object impermanent, then I consciousness impermanent, I feelings impermanent, and from that point, all five aggregates, form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, that all impermanent. So when it comes to ear, this ear impermanent, and that whatever the sound, ear object impermanent, and ear consciousness impermanent, ear feelings impermanent. And then from that point, form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition impermanent. Nose impermanent, this nose impermanent. This is not going to be the same from childhood to now. You know, it's changed all every day. When the hot weather, it's changed. When the cold weather, it's changed. If you eat something, the next day you have the running nose. So kind of like this, always change. So then nose object change and nose consciousness change. So the tongue always change. Morning, different taste it bring. Evening, different taste. If you drink little bit hot, warm water, it different. And if you eat something bitter and then try to taste something, it's different. It's always change. And the other thing is that the physically, the tongue always change. It's these all organs, senses, vibrating, energy. It all depend on the air, blood, heat. And it always change. It's all energy. And the tongue object, it's always change. Otherwise, you cannot digest it. So whatever you eat, it need to digest. So the tongue object always possible to change. And the tongue consciousness arise out of that, that also change. And the body. So this body always changes. So it's vibrating. It's energy, flow of energy. Moment by moment breaking down. That's why we are here like this. And tomorrow this is not going to be the same. So here object, whatever another person we touch, we get the warm or the sensation, contact out of that. And that person also the same. There's no any unchangeable person or material things. And the body consciousness. Out of that contact, the consciousness arise. So then it's going to change. Because two changeable things cannot bring unchangeable consciousness. And the mind, that also change. Moment by moment. Phenomena and all the ideas, Dharma, that everything change. So then there is no unchangeable things can bring this consciousness. So like that, always remember the worldly nature is change, impermanent, unsatisfactory nature. But the thing is, when the time is good, we don't think about it. That is where things go wrong. Remember, when the time is good, we make mistakes. Not when the time is bad most of the time. That's why your liberation not going to happen while you're dancing. Your liberation not going to happen while you're singing. Your liberation, your transformation, your change not going to happen while you are moving. Your liberation, your changing, your nibbana, your enlightenment, your transformation not going to happen while you enjoying. Why? Because that governed by the current of the cravingness. So then your liberation going to happen. Your transformation going to happen. Your change going to happen. Your nirvana going to happen when you come to very solid, unmovable, deeper silence and observation. That is where your transformation happens. So then, have you ever give a chance for that to happen? So then, take a time, sit yourself, and have the invitation. Let it happen. And then withdraw from all the desires, all the doing things, all the intentions, all the cravingness, all the lust. Just for a moment. Withdraw from that, because you have done that all. Now you have what you are doing, just repeating. There is no any person doing anything for the first time in his life or her life. Everybody repeating things. So unknowingly, silently, we are repeating things. So then sitting, that's where your sitting is very important. Practicing. Can you come to a point to be silence? And having unmovable posture. Letting go all the desires, all the wanting, all the lust, all the cravingness, all the achievements. Can you let go that all the becoming that you look for tomorrow? That can you withdraw from the cravingness to know things and just let it be? Because that is where, remember, that is where your liberation happens. So if you don't give a chance for that, what will happen then? It's like this, unlocking a door. So you have the key. So then just imagine if the door moving here and there, how are you going to put the key? So always when the carpenters, when they make the door, they keep it at the right position. They don't put the keyhole over the shoulder. You will find nowhere that there is no key kind of like that. It always close to your hip level and little bit above your hip level. And even it is not from the very bottom level. It is little bit below the right middle. Everywhere, if there is a key hole. You know why? The physically, for the person to easy access. And other thing is, when they make the door, balance. If the door is not balanced, it's not going to happen. It's very important. You and me just cannot put a door there. So when they put the door, the one of the key point, the balance. To to keep, when you open, close, it's not going to go out of balance and change the position. Solid. So that is why you can every day see unknowingly, you just it happen automatically when you come to your home. You open the door and put the door key and open the door every day. It's a very, very, very. It's a automatic now. But look there from the other side. To do that, it available for you. It ready for you. Otherwise, you can't do it. So then you have to do the same thing to your body and mind also. You look for liberation, you look for happiness, you look for satisfaction. So then have you allow it to happen? Like the door willing to open. That's why it is there waiting for you when you come home. It's waiting for you, to open. Otherwise, you cannot do it. So then your body, this is the key point you have to understand. This is your body and your mind is the door for the nirvana or the liberation to come through. So then if you don't allow it to happen, it to come through you, how it going to happen? Somebody going to pour it to you or inject? No. So then have you ever thought about it? When you're going to do something, have you ever thought, hey, I won't allow this liberation to come through me. If I do this, it may going to block that. So then it is your choice. So if I do this, maybe I am going to become unconscious and my mind going to go crazy, my mind going to become wild, and my awareness going to go away, and I am going to get lost in this fantasy. So then, how that going to happen? So then you have to get the one thing. So whatever you want. If you want to get lost until you get tired. So then, but somehow remember, while you are enjoying, liberation not going to happen. That's the worldly nature. So then you have to come to a point to let everything to settle down, be empty from the desire, craving, energy, and not to go behind it, and just to settle down. And not to empower the lust. So then look into downside and see, so far you have done a lot of things and that all gone. And it never going to take you wherever what you want. That all our happiness, our satisfaction, looking for that happiness, satisfaction, looking for our joy, that whatever we have done so far in our life, it took us to different place. You don't need a kind of like a magic pill, or it is not a kind of like a jigsaw puzzle to understand that. Whatever that happiness and satisfaction looking for that, whatever we have done, it never took us to that destination. It took us to somewhere else. So then tomorrow the same. And remember, within another 1,000,000 years, if we do that's going to be the same. And if you do it here, the same. And if you go to another planet by the time, and if you're going to do it there, that's going to be the same. If you look for happiness and satisfaction, go behind something, and it's going to take you to another something else. another different experience. And another thing is, once the cravings become powerful, another downside, once this cravingness becoming powerful, once the lust become powerful, it makes us blind. And it start to overtake you. So then that powerful force, the power, energy, and take you to do unwholesome actions. And then tomorrow we don't know out of our bodily, verbally, mentally action, what we'll do, what we're going to do. Any unwholesome action can happen. So that's why put your own life experience into examine, evaluate yourself. And that itself the Dharma. Another thing is another downside is the dependency. Something or somebody going to overtake you. So then you lose your freedom. You lose your all opportunities. You lose all your creativities. You kill that all itself when you go behind the desire. That is why this is so powerful. That's why the cravingness is the leader. And so once you come to that level, that what will happen? And anger, hatred, jealousy, that everything going to be with us. So that's why the origin of the dukkha, it's not a kind of like a curse. It's not a kind of like a punishment. It's not a kind of like something that we cannot change. It is not something that depending on the karma. It's not a kind of like something that we bound to it. Always you are capable to change. So how you can change it? When you come to the present moment, observe and withdraw a little bit from that the moment that you go through. And that's why you have to have the life experience and start to look into it. So according to the Buddha's teaching, this cravingness related to cause and effect take you to step by step, step by step. So the cravingness or the lust leads us to pursue things. And because of the pursuit, there is acquisition. We are acquiring things, holding, grasping, clinging this. And because of the acquisition, the decisions, and then because of the decision, that the intention and the desire and the lust come. So because of the desire and the lust, this selfish tendencies come. The self is ideal. Around the self, we hold things. Self is tenacity. So because of this selfish tenacity, the possessiveness comes. Because of this possessiveness, what happened? The avarice, the extreme level of greed arise in us. So because of this avarice or the extreme level of greed with the around the idea of self, I am, the concern for protection comes. So because of the concern for protection, we start to go behind the weapons and various unwholesome actions, fighting each other, and selfish level of lifestyle, offensive task, slander, lying, weaponizing, and that's everything happens. Look at the world. When it comes to a country, more than education, more than its spiritual practice, more than the nature, more than the health, the each and every country today spend so much money for weapons, arms and ammunition. They call it kind of like a nice word, national security. And when it comes to leaders and look at her to keep their power, they tell lies, slander, fighting each other, and destroying other, killing each other to keep their power. See that cravingness, how powerful it is. That's why today, when it comes to this time period, the cravingness is the most strongest things. So remember that cravingness, the lust, when the lust is stronger, what does that mean? The suffering going to be there. Dukkha, unsatisfactory nature. So the whole world, like a network, like a net, cloud by this unsatisfactory nature. So more than any other time, this unsatisfactory nature became powerful. Because the reason is the desire, unwholesome desire. The reason is the lust. The reason is the people's cravingness. So we come to a point in 2025, we are now building submarines can go faster than fish. And we are capable to build these supersonic jets fly faster than birds. And through this Hubble telescopes, we are capable to look far away this universe. But still, we are not capable to see this inside cravingness. But that cravingness is the cause for the entire worldly, by the time in the future, universally, this unsatisfaction. So then remember yourself. Give some times to practice. So give some time yourself to settle down. At least 5 minutes every day, withdraw from all the desires, all the things that you look for. Even that now when it comes to liberation, enlightenment, and nirvana, those words also corrupted. from our own cravingness. I want to attain to liberation. I want to attain to Nibbana. I am enlightened. So kind of like that. That cravingness hijack that all the spiritual words also. So that's why from inside, don't look for that. If you try to look, because you use that same current inside you to look that nirvana also. That's why looking that you cannot find it. So then what you need to do? So today technique, what I'm telling, don't try to do anything. Don't have any wish, because your wishes already, it corrupted. So then the very first thing that you have to do, you have the beginner's mind. From where? Let everything to settle down. It doesn't matter whatever happen, accept. Don't look for anything ahead. Just let everything to settle down. Even don't try to inhale or exhale. That's why I always tell, let it happen. And if it is happen, you recognize. If it is not happen, it's okay. One day it's going to happen. You remember? One day that for all of us, this inhalation, exhalation not going to happen. So then maybe you try with the machines and you try with the doctors, expertise and everybody to somehow to do this. But entire this human history, remember, all the kings to the beggars, millionaires to the homeless people, everybody fail that struggle. So don't fight with the breathing. Don't struggle with the breathing. And remember to develop a mind, have the contentment. If it is happen, you accept it. If it is not happens, you accept it. Because you cannot do anything. So come to that beginner's mind. So don't allow your mind to look for anything. Don't allow your mind to try to do something. Remember. Why? Because if it is come like that way, most of the time it come with the cravingness, with the lust. So then it again going to go back to the samsara. So without that, you wait, even you don't have any idea to gain something, look for something, hold something, grasping so something. So if even the breathing happens, you settle down with it. So then your body, your mind come to a deeper sense of peace, contentment, satisfaction. That is a different satisfaction, because all this time we used to be satisfied going behind something, but now you come to a point to be satisfied just being settled down and accepting things as it is. So in that point, even if the breathing not happen to you, even it become the very last moment, your body and mind going to be okay with it. And that is where anymore this wheel of samsara not going to happen, because there is no cravingness, there is no lust, there is no desire to go and get. So that is where your liberation going to happen. So give a try. So even that here that give a try means just only come to the sitting point, and from that point don't try. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so patveva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So as I mentioned from the beginning, don't try to do anything. Just allow your inhalation, exhalation happen itself. And when it happens, just recognize it. Do nothing extra. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. Just allow your inhalation, exhalations happen itself. So bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, to your right side, downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu Sabbha sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabbha sampatti siddhya Imaya dhamma anudhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.